Ferrari has just made a shocking and brutally honest statement to Lewis Hamilton after what was a nightmare Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. For a driver of his caliber, a 7-time world champion, to end up sliding around and finishing 7th is not only frustrating, it's embarrassing for a team like Ferrari that brought him in to lead a championship charge. But what followed was even more staggering. Right after the race, Ferrari, led by team principal Frédéric Vasseur, issued a statement that shook the Formula One world. It wasn't the kind of supportive message many were expecting. There was no spin, no excuse, no attempt to sugarcoat the situation. Instead, it was a clear message: this isn't working. This is no longer a story about adapting to a new car or settling into a new team. Ferrari's response revealed that the project built around Lewis Hamilton might already be falling apart. The team isn't just disappointed, they're losing patience. And Hamilton himself is openly admitting that the SF25 is deeply flawed, using the word painful to describe the season ahead. That one word says everything about where things stand right now. When a legend like Hamilton starts to sound defeated, it's a sign that something is seriously wrong. From the very start of the Saudi Arabian GP weekend, the signs were bad. Hamilton looked uncomfortable during practice and qualifying. In the race, it didn't get any better. Understeer, tyre degradation, and a complete lack of balance plagued his SF25. He described the race as horrible and said there were no positives to take away. That is not normal for Hamilton. This is a driver known for staying optimistic and digging deep to find performance, even in tough situations. But this time, he couldn't hide the truth. The car simply isn't responding to anything he's trying to do. Ferrari's SF25 isn't just a bit off. It's unpredictable, inconsistent, and not built around Hamilton's driving style. Even after spending hours in the simulator and working with engineers to improve the setup, nothing has changed. The issues that appeared in Bahrain were still there in Jeddah. Mid-corner instability, front-end understeer, and sudden changes in balance from stint to stint made it nearly impossible for Hamilton to push with confidence. And while the 7th place finish might not look disastrous on paper, the reality behind it is much more worrying. Charles Leclerc, Hamilton's teammate, is proving that the car isn't completely hopeless. He managed to score another podium, showing that when the SF25 is in the right window, it can deliver decent results. But Leclerc has experience with the quirks of Ferrari's recent cars. He knows how to work around their limitations. Hamilton, meanwhile, is still trying to figure out how to make the car behave. He's spoken about how alien the SF25 feels, how it doesn't respond to the same inputs he's used for over a decade in Formula One. It's like learning a new language, one that he's struggling to understand. After the race, Frédéric Vasseur didn't offer excuses. Instead, he made it clear that the team expects adaptation and performance. Time is running out. That's a serious warning. Ferrari didn't bring Hamilton on board to finish 7th. They brought him to fight for wins, to bring his experience and leadership to a team that's been stuck in a cycle of underachievement. But right now they're seeing a car that Hamilton can't get to grips with, while Leclerc is getting results. That contrast is creating pressure inside the team, and it's only going to grow as the season continues. The truth is, Ferrari's plan is being tested in a way no one expected this early. They hoped Hamilton would lift the team, bring confidence and maybe even a title challenge. Instead, they're facing headlines about crisis and quotes from Hamilton that suggest he's already lost faith in the car. When he says there's no fix, not this week, not next month, maybe not even this season, that's not just frustration. That's a red flag. Behind closed doors in Maranello, the atmosphere is tense. The bosses aren't happy, the fans aren't happy, and Hamilton definitely isn't happy. He said it himself after qualifying. That's a quadruple warning. Something needs to change, and fast, because if Ferrari doesn't respond, they risk losing more than just points. They risk losing the belief of the very driver they brought in to transform the team. What's even more worrying is that Ferrari's post-race statement didn't protect Hamilton. It didn't defend him. It acknowledged his struggle, but also drew a line in the sand. Adaptation is expected, and performance is required. That's not the kind of thing you say when everything is going according to plan. It's what you say when things are starting to go wrong and you need to apply pressure. As we move towards The European part of the season, the tension will only increase. Tracks like Imola, Barcelona and Silverstone don't hide problems. They expose them. These circuits are technical, demanding, and require a car that behaves well through a wide range of corners. If the SF25 continues to act unpredictably, Hamilton's nightmare could continue. The clock is ticking. Ferrari doesn't have unlimited time to turn this around. The development race in F1 is relentless. McLaren, Mercedes, and Aston Martin are all improving. Every week Ferrari spends stuck with an inconsistent car is a week they fall further behind. And that means the pressure will not only fall on Hamilton, it'll fall on Vasseur. The aerodynamic department, the strategy team, everyone involved in making this car competitive. This isn't just a question of setup or driving style anymore. It's about whether Ferrari built the right car for the right driver. Right now it looks like they didn't. And while Leclerc is managing to cope, Hamilton is struggling badly. The longer that continues, the more influence Leclerc will gain inside the team. In Formula One, results matter more than anything. They determine who gets upgrades first, who engineers prioritize, and who the team starts to build around. If Hamilton doesn't start matching Leclerc soon, Ferrari may begin to lean more heavily on Charles, not as an official number one, but in the way they allocate resources and shape development. That's how momentum works in F1. It builds around the driver, who's delivering results. And that momentum can quickly shift the balance of power inside a team. Hamilton's situation is made worse by the fact that the car's behavior changes from one race to the next. One weekend, it's the front end that's unpredictable. The next, it's rear instability. There's no consistency, no foundation to build on. That's what makes it so difficult for Hamilton to find his rhythm. Every time he thinks he's made progress, the car throws a new problem at him. And this brings us back to Ferrari's chilling statement. By underlining Hamilton's struggles rather than defending him, they're sending a message. They're saying this isn't acceptable, that they expect more, and that if things don't improve soon, changes could be coming. That kind of pressure isn't easy to deal with, even for someone as experienced as Hamilton. But it's not just about pressure, it's about belief. Hamilton came to Ferrari because he believed in the project. He believed he could help bring the Scuderia back to the top. But belief is fragile. It depends on progress, on results, on feeling like the project is moving in the right direction. Right now, all of that is in doubt. The big fear is that this season becomes one long struggle where Hamilton fights every weekend just to stay in the top 10. That's not what he signed up for. And it's not what Ferrari promised. But unless the SF25 is transformed, that might be the reality. The paddock is watching. Everyone can see that Hamilton is struggling, and everyone knows that Ferrari is under pressure. If the team can't give him a car he can work with, the questions will only get louder. Was this move a mistake? Did Ferrari rush the process? Can they fix it before the summer break? Right now, the answers aren't clear. But one thing is, this situation is serious. And what happens next could define not just this season, but the rest of Hamilton's career. He's still one of the best drivers in the world, but even the best need a car that lets them show their talent. Ferrari has to act fast. The upcoming races are critical. They need to bring updates, fix the balance issues, and give Hamilton something he can trust. If they don't, the damage won't just be on the track. It will be in the relationship between team and driver. And once that trust is broken, it's very hard to get back. Hamilton is giving everything he has. He's working with the team, spending hours in meetings and in the simulator. But effort alone isn't enough in Formula One. You need results. And right now, those results just aren't coming. This story isn't over. Not by a long shot, but the direction it's heading in is worrying. Ferrari has a choice to make. Stand behind Hamilton and fix the problems, or risk letting one of the biggest moves in F1 history turn into a disaster. The next few weeks will tell us which path they choose.